Amelia Island, palm trees. That's where Dabo Swinney normally hits his golf ball, right about there. He's been doing that all week long, trying to work that short game out. But nevertheless, ACC Spring Meetings continue from beautiful Amelia Island. I always love coming down here, the Ritz-Carlton. There's old Dabo Swinney right there, 7 college football playoff appearances, a couple national titles. And you know what? Everybody that follows this sport for a living thinks the 25 Virgin is going to be pretty good. We'll see. LSU comes to Death Valley. And that's the guy right there leaving the bananas in there in the valley. That's right. Let's get Dabo Swinney on here. First of all, great seeing you as always. I am going to ask you about the bananas before we get into any football and everything else with life. Always good seeing you. Yeah. But that was nuts. 81,000 people showed up for a baseball game in Death Valley. What? I mean, and here you are leading the charge, coming down the hill. That was nuts.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's ironic. I played golf this weekend, and the palm trees ate a couple of my balls. They disappear. Where do they go? Like they just, I don't know where they go. They go up in the thing, and they never come down.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it happens. But, yeah, the bananas was insane. Like, I really, honestly, I didn't really know what it was. And I had only seen one time I'd like Roger Clemens pitch for whatever, a minor league thing, and that was the only time I'd ever heard of him until this all came about, and they set me up to do a Zoom. I thought I was doing a Zoom with somebody that worked for the Bananas to talk about the week. I don't know. They wanted me to do something for the weekend. And so all of a sudden it's Zoom, and this guy pops on, and it's the banana guy, Jesse. And he is amazing. Like, he is the most interesting guy you'll ever meet, and his story's fascinating. So all of a sudden I'm like sucked into this thing, and I start doing some research on Jesse and his wife. Unbelievable. They sold out Death Valley in 2 hours.
It's amazing.
81,000 people. I mean, it was crazy. Cool thing is, we have a suite at Death Valley. It's the first time I've ever been in it. I didn't even know what it was.
You're not really coaching.
There was an event. Yeah, it was an event, and it was actually. We had food. I mean, it was just a lot of fun. It was a great time, but it was such an entertaining event. Yeah. And you know, they have over 3 million people on a ticket waiting list. And so anyway, I was just fascinated by the whole thing. I spoke to them on that Friday, and yeah, they were like, all right, well, we want you to lead us down the hill. And these guys were crazy. I mean, the bus ride around was wild. So it was a lot of fun and just very entertaining. But there were people from 44 states in Death Valley. So it was pretty cool. You know, obviously there was a financial component, and the school made some money, but it was also cool to really be able to showcase Clemson in a different way. And a lot of people got a chance to come to see Clemson that never been there. The people that are a part of the Bananas are fascinating. You know, I mean, there's 2 18-wheelers. I mean, this is a massive, process and undertaking. So it was a lot of fun. I think everybody enjoyed it. And then they have, like, Jesse was going over his script with me, and they have like every 45 to 60 seconds something's happening.
Right.
And the game's just kind of going on, and the baseball players are amazing. They do all these crazy things, but it's just a ton of family entertainment, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
They didn't try to stick you in one of their little dance routines?
Well, I would have
loved to see that.
I actually, I didn't bring up anything. I just didn't even know. They really wanted me to run down the hill, and I did some interviews, and I spoke to their group and all that stuff. I was disappointed I didn't get an at-bat.
Yeah.
Did you go down left field now? Left field's like 16
I'm going
feet.
deep to the hill, all right? That's where I'm going, But, like, left field was only like 190.
I know.
So, but it was awesome. It was a fun time.
Sounds like the Bananas got to come back. In terms of your football team, every different team has a different vibe. How would you describe the vibe of your 2025 group? A lot of veterans and some new pieces as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've had every year you start over, and it's always fun for me. It never gets old. I love that whole process of just getting ready and kind of figuring it out. And I think chemistry and leadership are very underrated aspects to any organization, much less a football team. And so that's always kind of interesting to see how that comes together. And some teams have a little further to go than others. But this team was definitely a team that from the moment we started back in January, you could just sense they were way ahead from a chemistry leadership standpoint.
Right.
you have talent, you have injuries, you have a lot of things, but just the chemistry and the leadership, I think, of this group is really special. I mean, we've got a lot of guys back. We lost 3 starters. We lost Mickens, Barrett Carter, Peyton Page, so 3 starters on defense. And then we lost Marcus Tate, a guard who was hurt a good bit, but he's moved on to the NFL. Maffa with the Cowboys and Brenning Stool with the Chiefs. So most everybody's back, and it's a team that won the league last year and got a chance to get back to the playoffs. So I think that is really fueled them even more because they got a chance to kind of smell it. And it was like they got a chance to go in the kitchen and smell the chocolate chip cookies and it smelled good, but they didn't get to eat it. So they're anxious to get back to work, and that's really carried us. And then we had a bunch of mid-years, so we got all this experience back. But I think we had 16 guys mid-years that were able to go through spring, and we only have 3 players that were not with us. So those 3 guys will be moving to Clemson here in a few weeks. So to have pretty much your whole team there going through spring, I think is a real benefit for us. But man, we got a tough schedule. I mean, we got a lot of work to do. I mean, we're going to play LSU. They're a really good football team. They'll probably be a top 5 team. I mean, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I mean, we play Troy, which is one of the best group of 5s out there. We got to go to Georgia Tech, and I think Brent Key's done as good a job as anybody in the country. That's a huge battle. Syracuse, Fran Brown, they win 10 plus games last year, and man, he's got them going. We got the New England Patriots tour. We go to North Carolina, to Boston College back to back. We got the Noles will be better and be back this year. We got them at home. We lost to Louisville last year. We got to go there. We lost to South Carolina. We got to go there. So Duke's a really good football team. So it's a lot of work, and we got a lot of teams I got a ton of respect for, but. I think we're a team that's got a chance, and I think anytime you can compete in your league, good things can come from that. And we've won the league 8 out of the last 10 years, and everything great has come from that. Because it's created a lot of opportunity, post ACC play, and 17 teams. I think there's going to be a bunch of teams that are good enough to win it. We'll be one of them.
You joined me on April the 1st, and we talked about Tom Allen. And you're like, Pack, we got to tackle better, all that stuff. I'm watching some ceremonies last week where the president of the institution, President Clemens, who I consider a friend, goes through the ceremony, and his daughter, Grace, tackles him on stage. And I said, man, Tom Allen has had some kind of impact already in Clemson. How about that? And let me tell you something. Yeah. She can help you. She took Dad right down to the ground, diploma and all. Yeah. It was some kind of scene. That was an amazing scene.
Yeah, well, listen, so what you don't know, so I actually got to speak at the Clemson Life graduation that they had about a week prior. And she comes running, and I mean, she jumps up, and I mean, President Clemens catches her, and it's just perfect. It was it was so amazing. So I think they were trying to replicate that and it just didn't quite stick the landing the way they wanted. But President Clemens, I mean, he's awesome. And I don't know if you saw it, but Today Show had Beth and Jim and Amazing Grace, as we call her. And I'm going to tell you, I thought it was, if you haven't seen that segment on the Today Show, it's one of the best things that you should watch and see. I mean, it will just bring joy to you. And Beth is amazing. President Clements gets a lot of credit, like I get a lot of credit, but he'll be the first one to tell you, just like me about Kathleen. Beth Clements is amazing, and the type of mom that she is, the type of father that Jim is, the Clemson Life program, and all that it does. But to see that really awesome moment, because I mean, I've watched Grace. I met them in 2013. Right. So for the last 12 years, we've been doing life together. And to see, just what Clemson Life has allowed and how it's equipped Grace and how she's just blossomed at Clemson, it's been awesome. And I know something that's really meant a lot to their family and brought a lot of hope to a lot of other families out there as well.
On the topic of Tom Allen, and I know you guys spoke not too long ago, but how have you seen him impact this team this spring?
Yeah, Tom, if you know him, you know he is a high energy guy. So
Yes.
that's been a lot of fun.
Does he have his megaphone? He used to carry around at Indiana.
So he doesn't have much of a voice because he's abused his voice most of his life. So he's got a microphone that he carries around, so we kind of go back and forth. But I think the biggest thing is he's obviously a great football coach, but he's just he's a great leader of people.
Yeah.
And he's really brought a ton of leadership, to that side of the ball. And listen, those are tough decisions that you make from time to time. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Wes Goodwin. Wes Goodwin, we won the league 2 out of 3 years with Coach Goodwin, and we had a top 10 defense. But it just, in the end, it just didn't quite come together the way we wanted. And but Tom has come in and really, really gelled it together from a staff standpoint, and then certainly, from a leadership side over those young people, and then also recruiting. Recruiting is a big part of this world too, and he's highly respected, and just really thankful that he came, and he came sight unseen. First time he ever saw Clemson is when I picked him up, so it was really cool to welcome he and his family. His son Thomas is with us as well, so he's done an awesome job, and but hey, as I said earlier, we play LSU. I mean, we got a tough road ahead.
He has the schedule memorized.
Tough road ahead, and but it should be fun.
Yeah.
Do you realize how many people you've disappointed by now tapping into the transfer portal? I mean, everybody else just been like a pinata. Dabo said he just won't do the now you do the transfer portal, and now you got a guy from Brad Brunell's team. I mean, you're going tight end on us. How about that?
The sad part about that is, we've signed 5 guys in 5 years, but for some reason, nobody would celebrate Hunter Johnson. Poor guy. Nobody celebrates Paul Tyson, but that's what we needed. It's not the first time we've, used the portal, but we've signed 5 guys in 5 years. But for whatever reason, people get excited about things. And honestly, the only thing that put us in the portal this year, as I've said many times, we're not against the portal. We'll use it when we need it.
Right.
And we have. But this year, we had a defensive end that decommitted from us right at the last minute. So there wasn't a high school kid to get. So I'm like, okay. And then we had another kid that transferred. So we're like, well, we got to go find a DN. And so we got Will Help. And our process was exactly the same. Perfect kid, the exact fit. They had fired his coach, and so it was just the right timing. We needed a linebacker. We went and got Jeremiah Alexander, who I've known for a long time. He's from my rival high school in Alabama, in Thompson, and it was the right fit for him. And then we had 2 receivers leave. We had Stellato went to Kentucky, and Noble Johnson went to Arizona State. And so we needed to go find another receiver from a depth standpoint. We got this kid, Tristan Smith, out of Southeast Missouri. And so timing of things, the way the high school signing date is, but everybody's stayed with us. I think the last 3 years in this crazy time of college football, we lead the nation in graduation, but we also are top of the nation in retention, meaning fewest players leaving your program. So, that's what people don't understand. When you have the highest graduation and the highest retention, well, if you're going to go just take a bunch of portal guys, you got to run a bunch of people off. And our kids stay and they graduate, and it's been formulas work for us.
And they win.
And they win.
It's a good combination.
And they win.
But you did say, though, yesterday, Ian Shefflin finally got his pads fitted, his helmet. How does he look, the Clemson basketball player?
And we went to the intercampus portal, too. So,
there you go.
So we went to the basketball portal and got the big chef. So I haven't seen him yet, but I'm just going to tell you, he's going to be massive. He's going to go from just a solid-looking guy on the basketball court.
It looks like that
to an elite-looking football player. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we got a lot of work to do with him, but I think it's a great move for him. I think he can spend these next 6, 7, 8 months, really building a foundation to football, and technically, fundamentally, mentally, just knowledge-wise. And I think it could really set him up. I really think all of the characteristics translate. You think about a guy that's been high pointing the ball with collision balance against other 6, 7 footers. Now all of a sudden he's high pointing the ball against 6'3" guys.
True.
You know, you think about a guy who's spent the last however many years moving his feet, staying in front of people, and now he can do that in pass protection, but he can knock the crap out of them. He can use his hands, and they don't throw a penalty or blow a whistle, right?
And he likes that.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to just go set a screen. He can go smash a dude. And instead of getting a guy open for a jump shot, he's opening up a running lane for the running back. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to coach him. We'll see how it all plays out. And honestly, again, as I've told him, I mean, we don't need him to win, but I would love to be a part of his story because I really do think that his skills are going to translate. And he played football. He played football up till the 10th grade, and didn't just play. He was the best player, and he played quarterback. He played tight end. He played DN. He was also the best baseball player. Played pitcher, first baseman. Right. So this is a high-level athlete, and he's been a highly successful player at the highest level of college basketball and could go play pro ball. But I think this is just an opportunity he couldn't pass up, and we'll see where it goes.
Well, we look forward to getting down to the Valley for that LSU game. Now I'm going to tell you something. That will be a scene.
Yeah, man.
Let's fast forward the clock.
The two Death Valleys. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it as well. I mean, I love these games are hard, but I love challenges and matchups like this. And then we go to Baton Rouge the next year, and so I was at Alabama for 13 Clemson or Alabama LSU games. So I've been there many times, and but it's been a long time since I've been to Baton Rouge, and so I look forward to a great matchup with those guys.
It's going to be great. Always a pleasure. Safe travels getting back. We'll see you this summer.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
There it is.
See y'all.
The one and only Dabo Swinney, right here from Amelia Island. When we come back, Fran Brown, fresh off 10 wins last year, going to give you the real deal. And by the way, he did thank Dabo. He said, hey, just remember, Swinney, I took care of you.